today about him and about his future. And before we get into whether the rights and wrongs of whether we should be discussing his future at Man United, we can understand why we're talking about it, because yet again, mistakes at the weekend.
Listen, when people make mistakes, they're open to criticism. That's just natural. That's just the way football is. And David De Gea he's not the exception. So he's made mistakes, glaring mistakes in some big games. Notably the game yesterday against Chelsea in the semi-final at Wembley. And here are a couple of the goals, all the goals we'll see here. And yes, he should be doing better. And I've played with David. He's his own biggest critic. He'll be sitting at home mulling over these, going through the situations and making sure that he tries to get rid of these mistakes that he's committing at the moment. And I saw these games, I watched these games with my boys at home, and I was flabbergasted to see them go past David, because he's a top draw goalkeeper. And it's disappointing, really. I think as a Man United fan, you want to defend your players, and at the moment, he's not in a position to be defended in that respect. OK, well, let's talk about this then with Ian and Karen as well. Look, Jermaine, Karen, you can struggle and you can have a slight loss of form and you can have a few issues without needing to be replaced at Manchester United. And it almost feels like no one's thought about that. It's almost like, right, he's struggling a bit, Man United have to bring in another goalkeeper. Is that really what we're talking about here?
It's not what I would do if I was Ollie. I think all you need to do is go over Manchester United's history with goalkeepers and how much they've struggled since Schmeichel, and probably the last one, the next one after that, Rio would agree, would probably be Van der Sar. Are the two goalkeepers that you looked at and when they feel comfortable and they look comfortable wearing the holding the weight, I would say actually, of the Manchester United #1 jersey. And David De Gea was one of those goalkeepers that came in and managed to do that. It's a big ask, I think, and there's a big uproar and call now for, OK, get Henderson in from Sheffield United. Yes, he's very talented. We don't know kind of if he's going to be able to handle kind of the weight of that shirt. You know, Ben Foster was one of those very good young English goalkeepers that just struggled to deal with it. Fabien Barthez, a World Cup winner with France, struggled to deal with that side of things at Manchester United for whatever reason. Now, would I say take a step back? Definitely. You know, take a step back, put him on the bench for a bit, let Romero come in, an international goalkeeper, and just let him assess things, because he's had 2 bad years, if we're totally honest. But prior to that, he's been Man United's player of the season for the last 3 or 4 years. So I think Ollie owes him at least just to pull him out of the firing line and let him assess things, as Rio said, and then take it from there.
Would you pull him out the firing line, Karen?
I think I would at this moment in time, just give him a respite. I agree with JJ. I think since the 2018 World Cup, he's kind of took a confidence hit and he hasn't got that presence that a Manchester United goalkeeper needs and has to have, and he's made some key errors and you can't afford to do that, and he cost them yesterday. And fair play to Ollie, he's come out and backed him, and I like that about him. He's come and supported the player, but at some point he's got to repay the manager's faith. I mean, it's not an ideal time because he's still got 2 years left on his contract, and you know, could you sell him? Who would want him? So it's not like you could sell him, recoup the money and bring Henderson in. I think you've got to hold on to him for a little bit longer, even business sense as well as playing sense as well.
Look, we've got the stats on the screen there. I mean, the only one that really jumps out as being markedly different is errors leading to goals, OK? And so you look at that and you go, right, 3 errors leading to goals. Well, that's obviously high. Well, it's the same as Ederson. I don't hear people talking about whether Ederson should be playing for Manchester City.
Yeah, and Ederson's in a team that are doing different things. They've won 8 of the last 10 domestic trophies. So some of your mistakes you kind of get plastered over. They go missing. They go by the wayside. But listen, is David De Gea, has he been making mistakes? Yes, he has made mistakes. Is he low on confidence? Yes, he is low on confidence. But has he got the character to come back? Has he proved his character in years gone by? Yes, he has. When he came to Manchester United, he was a 19-year-old. He was question marked straight away over, is he good enough? Is he too slim? Is he too frail? He's not ready to be Man United's goalkeeper. He dispelled all those things that we've been said about him through character, hard work, determination, and above anything else, quality. And you look, he's been Player of the Year, like JJ said, 4 out of the last 6 years. This guy, when there was inconsistency at Manchester United, he was the consistent factor all the time there. Yes, he's had a bad spell, confidence is low, but does that mean you go out and get rid of him? Like Karen said, who are you going to get? Tell me who's out there now that they're going to get. Dean Henderson's a young goalkeeper. JJ's already said what needs to be said about that. this is still a big gamble. Who is out there that is actually able to be bought right now, who's going to go in and be a world-class goalkeeper right now at Manchester United? The only one I see is Oblak, but can you get him out of Atletico Madrid? And if you do, how much are you going to have to spend? Obscene amount of money. I say stick with him.
Rio.
He's earned that right to be stuck with.
Rio, why do you think then his confidence is low? Because, you know, Manchester United 19 games unbeaten before yesterday's game. Why is his confidence that low? Surely he should be thinking, we're doing well since January, since we're kicking on. So what has changed for him?
I think he's had lapses in concentration. No matter how well your team's doing, if you've still made mistakes during them periods at given times, you as an individual still have that element of uncertainty in certain situations. And no matter how good you are, we've all been playing at the top of our game at periods where it all seems bliss, nothing can go wrong. And you're international players playing at your big clubs. But when there's a moment in your career, and we've all been there, that confidence just drops a little bit. Don't matter who you are, what level you've played at, you feel the pressure differently. You feel the pressure like any man would who'd be thrown into the fire from obscurity.